international governing body for the sport of lacrosse. We have 54 members of the 54 countries as members. We are members of Sport Accord, members of the World Games Association, and also have recently applied for recognition to the Olympic Committee, the IOC. We should hear by the end of the year if we are granted recognition, and then there'll be a 4-year period where they will study our organization, and from there we would then apply. Hopefully we would be applying for Olympic competition. So 2024 would be the first possible. Okay, there's no draw. USA must have had a infraction or a penalty. So the ball's in the possession of Lasorda. She's carrying the ball down the field. As I say, our rain is over. We're drying off our lenses and trying to find focus on the ball there. There we go. It's behind the net. Great one-on-one move. It's looking to feed, and it's blocked by the US. Ball's on the ground. Lots of fighting. It comes out with Jackie Gilbert. Sorry, that wasn't Jackie. It was Claire Quinn, one of the premier defenders for the USA. She and Jackie are very similar in statures, number 1 and 4. But Claire has the ball. She'll be progressing it downfield. And as I remind, our score is 5-4. We're not seeing the score on the monitor there, but pretty soon the score and the time, I hope, will show on our monitor. And that's a bump. Advantage to USA. That's Annika from Germany. That is a great check and a held check. So ball will go back to the midfielder, Olivia Ferrucci, and she'll be starting the ball at that point.
All right, so you'll see that all players in this instance need to move 4 meters away. So we had a major foul, and USA just moving the ball backwards before they attempt to move the ball downfield again. Still playing one player down, and now with a little bit of sunshine, USA have the ball behind the goal, moving around to number 12. That's Lindsay Rombeck, and she's been one of the major contributors for USA. 22 goals and 8 assists. However, ball's down on the ground, and we've seen the ball more on the ground in this game than in the last few. The conditions certainly making it tough. And so there's been a foul called on number 28 from Canada. That's Bailey Collins. So moving the ball around to Lindsay Rombeck behind the goal. And up now the top to Kerrigan Miller. And Kerrigan's quite content at the moment to have some possession before looking to see is there a space. Moving the ball on. And we'll see player number 11 for the USA. That's Bindi Griffin. We haven't seen a lot of Griffin in this game to date. Back again to Rombeck. And we've got some strong Canadian defence, not allowing any opportunity of space in front of goal. So number 8 there for the USA, Miranda Ibello. Again, the USA are having to work a lot off ball. And that's Lindsay Rombeck, and she finds the space and scores for the USA. And we have a tied game here at 5-5. So that 5th goal for USA, scored by number 12, Lindsay Rombeck, with 3 minutes having been played in the first half. A great move there by number 12 for the USA, Lindsay Rombeck.
Yeah, we'll see. Might not get that replay. We're cleaning lenses and trying to get organized here. But what the U.S. did so well there is move the ball very quickly from one side of center to the other. And the zone that Canada's playing leaves a weak side player free. In this case, Lindsay saw the opportunity to beat just one player and get to the middle. USA's been looking with ball behind, how to pressure it. And that is draw possession to number 24, Francesca Whitehurst, who has a great burst of speed. She's looking on the weak side, looking in the middle. There's Olivia, shoot, score! No doubt Francesca Whitehurst with her head on a swivel, seeing that opportunity to feed to her teammate. Somehow, Olivia Ferrucci stuck in behind the defense and was able to receive a ball right in front of goal and bury it in the net. So USA takes a lead, 6-5 with 26 minutes and 43 seconds left in the half. And I just want to point out, this is the first time starting this half that USA has been behind in the whole tournament, but look at how they respond with 2 quick goals.
And so certainly in that instance, with Canada playing largely a zone defence, they lost track of number 17, and Tessa Chad was able to pop in there fairly quickly and score. So possession coming off the centre draw to number 4 for USA. That is Claire Quinn. Now, still USA wanting to keep some control here. So number 8, Miranda Ibello, you've heard her name mentioned a lot throughout this whole tournament. Back to Lindsay Rombeck. And with USA now having a 6-5 goal lead, and we had a player falling a little bit on the ground, and I think that looks a little bit hard to tell here, and that's number 7 for Canada, Jocelyn LeMay, being able to sweep through and pick up the ball, and we have a foul called on USA. So Jocelyn LeMay looking to see what she has upfield, and in fact she's going to move the ball backwards, and there's not a problem in doing that if you're able to sweep to the other side. So Canada's successful in being able to find that loose ball, and goalie stepping up, just engaging herself, making sure that she's keeping moving and keeping warm, although we don't have any rain. Still a little bit chilly here, so we are looking for, that was number 28, Bailey Collins, taking the ball, and we had some strong defence by the USA, and Bailey Collins not able to stay in the field of play.
Yes, and so ball's now in the hands of Miranda Ibello. She positioned very nicely on the sideline, and the Canadian looked like she was going to try to push off of her, but instead she stepped out of bounds. So now we got a ball across the field to Lindsay, who's being shoved by, but the play on whistle goes. So Lindsay has the ball to the middle. She's on a streak and missed the cage on the outside. She had a nice low release there, but unfortunately the ball hit the back of the side of the net, and now the ball's transitioning the other way. That's Erica Evans, the leading scorer. She's decided to turn around and use her teammates to pass the ball down. So with 24 minutes and 22 seconds, we have USA 6, Canada 5. Everyone's now setting up their offensive play.
And you'll see that Team Canada again moving back into the Evans. And we have Lydia Sutton up the top, and you'll see that the ball will work its way around. We've got a little bit of national anthem playing here in the middle of the match, but to Lesotho passing the ball to Stroop. Lesotho and Stroop tend to play on that side of the field, and Sutton sits herself most of the time in the middle. USA have decided to put a little bit more pressure on the ball carrier, and we have a foul being called on number 9, Sarah Platt. So ball coming across now to number 2, Selena Lesotho, and back up to Sutton. And we'll see sitting out with Erica Evans. Again, Canada, you'll see, repeat this play of holding the ball very, very wide to try and find some running space for Lesotho in this instance, and some quick hands there, and Evans taking a shot, looking to score up high into the goal cage, and that's Holly Lloyd now going to bring the ball back into play. And so we've been very well supported by the ball girls and ball boys at this tournament. And in fact, no, we have a foul that has occurred after the shot. So that's going to be number 11, Erica Evans. She will take the ball on a hash, and we have an 11-metre area cleared. So let's see what Evans can do, and really taking pretty much a similar repeat shot. And so Lloyd was closest to the line where the ball crossed it, so she will bring the ball back into play.
Yeah, USA is continuing to play their backer zone. You'll see that number 13, Erin Kelly, is not marking a player, but instead is moving along the 11-meter arc, serving as the second double teamer, or the double teamer should a Canadian player challenge in. Also covering the passing lane to the middle. Everyone else is playing player to player, and then we'll shift over. Right now, the USA is actually out of sync with their players. Actually, I'd say USA now looks like they've switched to a full zone, a backer and a zone. So that's something new from USA. There's a pass up, and a shot, and a score. That's sort of a Hail Mary pass, but 14 came down with it. That is Brenda Shanahan grabbing a goal there, and that will tie our game 6-6. Hopefully we'll see the replay, so you can see the pass. It's an assist from the behind the cage as well as from in front. Here we go with the replay. Driving in with 2, 14 free, takes a step left and shoots high, non-stick keeper.
And 14 having the control there to realise that she needed to turn to her left and find that space. So with 21 minutes and 39 seconds left in this second half, we have a game of 6 goals apiece. So this is phenomenal for women's lacrosse to have had 3 games today, all been very, very tight, and we get a Canadian centre coming out. With the ball is number 11, Erica Evans, and she has certainly had a phenomenal tournament. Back up to Lesotho. So it's moving the ball back to Sutton. Sutton, as we said, played in Women's World Cup, Team Canada in 2013. Back up to Lesotho.
Yeah, I think they've switched, as I say, to a zone, and I'm a little worried. Player 8 right there with the ball. Shot behind her back. Sorry, that was a pass behind her back to number 20, Holly Lloyd. That zone is not covering the center very well, and Dante Strupp is free to float. She saw her teammate Holly Lloyd low on the crease, and that's actually one of the most beautiful goals that have been scored in this game. Assist to Street, and that was we're going to now see that in replay. So the feed goes to the middle 8. She looks and knows behind her. Passes flat, and there goes Holly Lloyd. That should be her 10th goal of the match. We're now going to see it from the angle behind. Pass into 8, pass behind. Great, and that's the kind of work that they're used to. A lot of the box lacrosse is that inside to the middle and out to the corner. I've watched them in their warm-up, and I've watched them practice yesterday, and they've been working tremendously on that feed to the middle to the opposite side to find a free player. So now come Lasorda, just missed that pass. Let's see who's going to get possession. It does come up with Selena Lasorda, and now I think they'll settle down. Again, the same formation. Sutton, their best drivers in the middle. You've got the leading scorer, Erica Evans, off on the right, top right, and she likes to drive to the middle, lefty up. And Celine over here, and she can go either hand, but she's got eyes in the back of her head.
All right, so you'll see that before Lesotho was driving and ball was on the ground, and she's just got absolute passion to get that ball back into her stick. So we've now got the ball at the top with Lydia Sutton, back over to Evans, and you can see now that Canada, with 1 goal up, are just wanting to run the clock. So they're quite content to pass the ball. And at this point in time, we've still got 19 minutes and 40-odd seconds to go, but there is no need for Canada to immediately want to go to the cage again. So they're just going to work the ball around, and they're staying well and truly wide of the UST defence. And you'll see that US, they're just prepared to sit and currently and wait patiently. I can't see that Canada are wanting to move quickly to goal at this point in time. So we're playing a little bit of cat and mouse, as we would say, at this point in the game. But
and in the overall statistics for this tournament, we have as the number 3 scorer tied We have Lindsay Rombeck from USA and Erica Evans, Canada, both coming in this game with 22 goals. And statistically is close. We have Miranda Ibella with 18 assists and Holly Lloyd with 17 assists previous to this game. So you can see that the rankings these players have and the roles that they play certainly do allow them to hold those honors as being leaders. So it looks like USA's pressuring a bit. Canada's going to goal. And that was a shot by Erica Evans. It went wide of the cage. I think the keeper got a touch on it. So possession remains, though, in Canada's way. Let's see if they change their tactic, or they're certainly more in a freelance setup because players are not in their normal positions. So it makes me think he's trying to hold the ball a bit. That ball was fed inside and tipped out. So our ball's been recovered by Tess. She feeds her keeper, and USA now has possession. 18 minutes remaining in this match. Canada holds a 1-goal lead, and we'll see how they set up their defense. Are they playing player to player, or are they going with a zone trap? Looks like they still have their zone trap. Their middies are playing in a flat line across, guarding space versus people. USA player trips. She needs to get it off to a free player. It throws it over the head. That will be a turnover for Canada. Yeah, we're actually seeing some moisture on the fringes. It's not a special effects on the camera, but with all the rain we had, apparently the lenses have gotten a little wet on the inside. So we'll keep focused in the middle, but the little bit of fog or haze is something that we are not able to do anything about. Let's just hope the sun comes out and it dries up quickly. So Canada back in what we look like a stalling kind of motion. USA is shifting some individuals to go one-on-one and leaves the opening in the middle and allows Sutton a chance to score. So the strategy of going all out to pressure is not going to be successful for USA. Canada has figured out when they pull it out, there's too much space in the middle, and our goal by Sutton. 6-8, 16 minutes left. So we'll just see the replay here of this match. And here is our challenge, a great fake shot, pulls over and scores on the high non-stick side of the goalkeeper. Watch this fake, and comes back to her high side, and goes opposite side for the keeper. And that's a great goal by Sutton.
So Sutton certainly has the ability to identify when the space is there, and her teammates gave her that support by keeping the defence busy and occupied, giving Sutton the opportunity to have really that large 11-metre area in front of goal fairly clear. So now we've got the draw. It looks like ball was in at Team Canada's stick was out again. So the USA now have some possession, and the ball hasn't been down in this attacking half for several minutes now. So number 12, Lindsay Rombeck, just being told by her teammates, hold ball, hold ball. And now we've passed to Nikki Ortega behind the goal. Canada are maintaining their existing defence. So again, with the zone and looking after the space rather than the player. And we can hear some chants in the crowd wanting to encourage Team USA to be able to score this next goal, but with some strong defence there hasn't been the opportunity to drive as frequently as they may have had for the remainder of the tournament. So ball's up the top here to number 7, Tess Diorsi, and she's again looking to see whether she can move in any closer. Back to Lindsay Rombeck, and she'll carry the ball, and being called round all the way by Nikki Ortega. And now it's Ortega's turn, and she moves around and is able to find some space around that defender. And so USA score their 7th goal, and we have an 8-7 scoreline to Canada. So USA able to pull back one of those 2 goals of deficit. Again, had a little bit more patience in this instance. Lindsay Rombeck taking the ball behind and passing to Nikki Ortega, and she saw the chance to whip past her defender, and just waiting to see now this replay. You see that Ortega makes 2 quick steps, and actually it looks like though it's Ibello Yeah, Ibello. Sorry, I was calling that it was Ortega, but in fact that goal was scored by number 8, Miranda Ibello.
Yeah, and I'll have to say that usually it's hard to challenge Canada from the backside because they have an extra player pressuring there, but when 2 attackers crisscrossing behind, that's how Ibella got the extra step. And then she had a great roll dodge to the inside to beat the crease defender, and a great quick release low to beat the goalkeeper. So that's a great individual effort by Miranda. She's leading the team in assists for USA, but she's also had her share of goals. Got an overthrow, but the speedster Nikki Ortega has picked it up. All of these players for US will be going on to play at university. Oh. And that was Miranda. Sort of a slip, but also a push. That was number 31, Bryn Yarton, with the foul, so we'll see if she goes in to take the shot. She has some room to go to her left, create a space before the shot is taken. Let's see what she does. She does not choose to shoot. She pulls back. Still looking to feed her teammate. When Canada is in this zone, we have to be sure that the USA has got some players cutting or moving through the middle. Because if they don't, the zone is going to be very effective. So now I see some more players inside. That's possession there, loose ball, cover to USA possession. This is a minor foul, so they'll have the ball at the 15-meter, but at least they do maintain possession. So Canada here with a 1-goal lead, 14 minutes left. And I do apologize again, as we said, so we're not attempting to have a special halo effect, but with all the 3 rain showers we've had and the moisture in the air and then the sun coming out, we've got a bit of extra humidity inside the camera. Yeah, that was a nice shot by 8. And there was another defender in the crease at that time, so it will be possession to USA. 2 defenders in the crease at the same time. Possession there on the 8-meter. And we'll see if we can USA can capitalize on that. And she chooses to go behind and moving the ball up wide. And again, Canada in their zone. Linda Sutton always at the center top, taking on the challengers. Quick exertion by Francesca Whitehurst and a save by our goalkeeper. That is Cameron.
So that goalkeeper save has now allowed Canada to move aggressively into offense, and the ball is currently in the stick of Lydia Sutton. So again, a great save there by Cameron Holsall, the lefty goalkeeper. Ball's currently with Holly Lloyd, and we have a stick to body call on number 1, Jackie Gilbert from the USA. So Holly Lloyd has possession with Gilbert moving 4 metres behind. So Lloyd will take it back to a spot that she's generally most comfortable in before it moves up to the top. And Sutton now shifting, just moving a little bit wider out than her normal spot, up right, directly in front of goal. So Lydia Sutton not under pressure to pass. She has great stick control, and so protecting that stick with her body. Ball back to Evans, and you'll see that Evans is moving in, and she finds the space and still was continuing to hold ball. Evans is a very smart player, and she would have heard perhaps, or one of her teammates would have told her that a flag had been raised. So that is an advantage flag, meaning that the umpire recognised a foul had occurred. She did not want to stop the player driving on goal, but so Evans decides to, rather than attack the goal, she's going to keep possession. So moving out to number 14 for Canada, that is Brenna Shanahan. And so now USA putting a double team to the ball and really putting Shanahan under pressure. And we have a call, that's an on-the-body call by number 24, Francesca Whitehurst. USA trying to take the opportunity to get back possession. And so now with some sun sort of shining quite brightly onto the spectators here, you'll see that Brenna Shanahan is moving the ball to the centre, and you'll see sitting out there is Danita Stroop, and it's back to Lesotho. Lesotho will always take the opportunity to challenge. before deciding that, no, she's going to take the ball again out. And we have a foul being called on number 7 from Tess Diorsi. So you'll see now she's coming in front, and you'll see that being held there by Selena Lasota. She is just holding that stick away, and you can see though in her mind that once she's given the opportunity, she will take a very, very strong shot. So at this point of the game, we have a 9-7 goal lead, 2-goal lead there by Canada. And looking at that replay, you'll see that she's holding that ball and taking a phenomenal shot there on the goalkeeper. It's often actually hard to see. She's quite deceptive. Yeah, so running right across the front, and you'll see taking that shot nearly with both legs off the ground.
Yeah, her power is built by her body, and she went airborne just before the release of that, which gets her all that body rotation. She shoots like a guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's the hardest shot I've seen, other than a few senior members of squads. That's certainly the hardest college shot I've ever seen, and I've been watching her throughout her season as a college player. We have a timeout currently on the field from USA. 2-goal lead 10 minutes ago. I'm sure the coaches are worried about them holding the ball on them and spreading it out, and it's going to be real hard to chase. So a strategy to try to break down that play. What they'll do is bring the keeper out of the cage, and she will play a player on the field, which will release an extra defender to go double team. I know they've talked about it. They haven't had any opportunity to practice it because they've won handily in their matches previously. The only close game they had was the first game of the event, where USA beat Canada 15-9. But Canada's strategy of holding the ball on offense patiently seems to be working. I think also their switch to their zone defense, certainly after the game got started, has really slowed the attack of the US down. We have a different keeper in the game, I think, now. Looks like we've had a sub. That's Mallory Weiss coming into the game, trying to spark her team defense on. She is the moral leader and captain of this team, and I think she's very good one-on-one as well. Not as mobile coming out of the crease, but they're giving her a chance. So we'll score 7-9. Canada lead by 2. 10 minutes and 39 seconds. We're actually seeing the packed crowd, and somewhere up in that crowd is us. We still have a little halo. It's getting better, but that is some moisture in the lenses that occurred with our 3 rain showers. Ball's on the ground after the draw. Waiting to see what the call is. Official calls empty stick check. Ball will go to Canada. And right now we're going to see how willing they are to hold the ball versus trying to take another shot with a 2-goal lead.
And I think now we're going to see just how well composed both teams are. For the Canadian team, they'll be looking to hold possession and run that clock down, and will need to have patience, good communication, support of each other. For Team USA, they actually need possession. They are 2 goals down. Yes, we have 10.5 minutes to go, but they are certainly looking to get the ball back into their stick. And we now saw a foul being caused by Jackie Gilbert, and on the body foul. Ball moving in the stick now of Holly Lloyd, and you'll see that Canada will keep all of their players as wide out as possible, and Lasota's very content now. She certainly won't be looking to drive. Back there to number 8, Demeter Stroop, and you can see that the USA are in 2 minds. Do we push the ball here, or do we sit back? And so with that little bit of doubt, that just again runs the clock down for Team Canada. So Lydia Sutton, very accomplished player, having played already 1 Senior World Cup, moves the ball nicely to Kenzie Neal, and again back up to Lasota. And we have Erica Evans, number 11 for Canada, one of their major goal scorers. In fact, their number 1 goal scorer with 22 goals and 4 assists before we started this game. She has an 11-metre shot, and so let's see what she can do. And the ball actually, wide of the goalkeeper's cage, and the ball is being signalled as a Canadian ball. So Kenzie Neal has the ball in her stick, and we've got 9 minutes to go. So Canada quite content now to keep running that clock down. Balls to Lloyd, back up to Danita Stroop, and we've got Lesotho sitting there, out there by herself, calling. There's a lot of support, a lot of talking to each other, letting every player know that they have support with their teammates. And you'll see Evans in there to Stroop, and we have a yellow flag being called. We had a foul, and so the umpire had to decide whether there was an advantage to let the player keep the ball or in fact blow his whistle. So the umpire has blown the whistle, and we have Danita Stroop with an 11-metre shot, and we have the marking area being cleared. So she'll pull that out. Again, very good discipline for these girls who are all under 19 to be able to keep that control and composure. Bringing the ball now back up to Sutton. Again, one of their senior players on the pitch, and we have an across the body hold call, and that will keep possession with Canada. Currently it's Kenzie Neal who has the ball, and the foul has been called on number 4 for Team USA, Claire Quinn. So Betty, with 7 minutes 30 seconds or thereabouts to go, what are you wanting to do if you're one of the USA coaches?
Well, there's two key players here, Sutton and Lesotho. And if I was the USA coach, I would face guard those two. It looks like number 6, who was playing our zone, Erin, is now has taken on number 2. And just at the last second, she came off of her and unfortunately had a held stick check. So it looks like another 11-meter opportunity. This one's more to the center of the field, and it's by Danita Stroop. So I'll be interested to see if she shoots or that they continue to milk the clock. They've now taken 3 minutes off the clock since the last timeout. Shot, and a shot high, and USA gets possession. So not only did they did one thing they did want to do. They lost possession of the ball. Usually when you shoot, you expect your teammate to be at the end line to get possession, because the ruling is the closest to the end line when the ball crosses it. But here the USA was a little smarter and jumped it, and now they got to get it down the field with a chance to score. Still at just 2 goals in 6 minutes. It's very doable. Composure here for the USA is critical. They've got to be sure their people are in the right place, and when they get this opportunity to score, that it's 100% passing the ball back. That is Claire Quinn with the ball. She's going to take off through midfield, a big, strong lefty. Finding a teammate over the line, and great, we've got it into the restraining line. A few players slipping a little bit, but our sun is out bright. We are actually looking into the sun. I see most of the sky blue. So USA here has to score in control within about a 2-minute time period. There's a feed inside, and working around the top, and we're looking, oh, and there's definitely a foul. That's Kerrigan Miller driving to the middle. I would actually be taking a look. That was hard enough that I think a card could have been given. Anyway, she has 11-meter shot straight on. She has a teammate to her right, and she's got room to get close, shoot, and score. That was a bad foul by Canada. Very physical in the middle of 11-meter, and they really didn't need to have that foul. And that cost them a goal here. We're 9-8, 5 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. And I think momentum is going to change here. Here's the goal. She has a lot of room to move to her right in front of her teammate Olivia, comes much closer and sets high, shoots the goalkeeper's non-stick side. So now we're back to the center draw. This is a critical draw, Shelley. If USA gets possession of this, it will be a very, if Canada gets possession, it will be a stalling out period, but hopefully USA will get it. Canada has just brought another player behind the restraining line, so they already have 4 defenders back so that USA can't score on a fast break, and possession is gained by Megan Kenna.
All right, so that is Megan Kenna, and she has been one of the key transitional players for Team Canada. She's very quick, and has moved the ball there to Brenna Shanahan. And so we have a foul that's been called. It's a pushing foul. And it looks like it's on number 14 from USA. That's Chloe Jones. And the umpire just making sure that no player has moved since that whistle for the, we had an offside call. So that's just been adjusted. And so Brenna Shanahan will now carry the ball back. We have 4.5 minutes to go in this second half. And clearly now we have a game of possession for Canada. They will want to make sure that they protect the ball for as possibly as long as they can. But interestingly enough, Lydia Sutton has gone in for the shot. So from a coaching perspective, and clearly this team has talked about what their strategy is going to be if they are 1 goal up. And that's Megan Kinner, who has possession. So you'll see that Megan Kinner has the ball, and she'll be looking for, again, one of those key forwards, but she's quite happy to keep possession there, and now drawing the double team. So it's up to, and that was great pressure there by Team USA. So moving the ball back to the goalkeeper. And so now, they have, Team USA have switched their goalkeepers once again. So now it's USA's time to attack. Now we know that USA are 1 goal behind at this point in time. So for USA, you can see that there's a real wall of defence being applied by Team Canada. Player number 6 for the USA, Natalie Bolgier. And we have a charge call that's been made by the official. So the call has been made for a charge from Natalie Bolgier. Now the umpires are having a little bit of a chat here. They may have seen different things, and so the umpires will confirm what the call is going to be. And the call is now going to be a throw. So one umpire has seen a push, the other umpire has seen a charge, and often the angle that these umpires see a foul from is different. So we have now a throw that's being given, and you'll see that the players will stand on their respective defensive ends. And the ball is thrown up, and the ball is being picked up here by Megan Kinner. Again, our little transition player, and she's moved the ball, it looks like, to Lydia Sutton. Again, Lydia Sutton with some real pressure there, and we have a push being called by the umpire. So a push there has been called by the umpire. So with 2.5 minutes to go left in this second half, we have Canada with possession, and they are 9 to 8 goals ahead.
We just bring one point out. The USA men had never lost a world championship, and then in 2014, they beat Canada in the first round robin game and lost to them in the gold medal game. And here, potentially, we could have the same thing happen again. USA wins in the first round robin, and right now with a 1 goal deficit, 2 minutes remaining in the game, there's a possibility we could see another upset with Canada claiming both the men's and women's, men's seniors and women's juniors.
So now we have number 24 for the USA, Francesca Whitehurst, just realising that the opportunity wasn't there that she wanted to take. So we've got a lot of excitement here, both in the crowd, but Francesca Whitehurst just remaining composed. We're still 1 minute 30 to go. USA know that they need to be able to get a shot off at some point in time to level the scores, but they also don't want to take a low percentage shot. So moving the ball into number 19 for Canada, that's Kerrigan Miller, and we have a foul and we have an advantage call being given. So that's we have a shooting space being called, and that the call is on a shooting space with Andy Eldave taking that ball. We have the 11-metre area cleared, and so Andy Eldave will be taking this ball and trying to get a shot off, and She has missed the goal cage, and we're trying to see which way the ball is being given. And the ball has gone to Team Canada as that player was closest to the line where the ball crossed it. And she, in attempting to pass the ball back to her goalie, has had it intercepted, and we have now a foul that's been called. The ball is in the hands of it looks like number 20, so number 20, Andy Eldave, and there was a foul call there on the Canadian player. So with under a minute to go, and things are getting a little bit frantic out there for the players, and understandably so. Team USA know that they need to be able to score to level the ball.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised USA hasn't called a timeout. I think they still have one. But if not, the kids are working the ball around. They're looking for a feed inside. 32 seconds remaining. At some point, someone's got to go to goal here and create either a shooting space. And there's a feed in. She slipped. It's great possession. Oh, it's checked out. It's called by the official. It was over the shoulder. So Lydia Sutton will be behind. Clock is stopped with 21 seconds. I can see here we got a challenge. She needs to. Ball's down. Whitehurst going to goal. That is a foul against the Canadian. So we have a very exciting opportunity. Francesca Whitehurst with an 11-meter shot. We have 13 seconds remaining on the clock. Players will all be trying to get to Francesca. She is so quick. As long as she doesn't slip, she's going to beat those close defenders and hopefully tie it up for the U.S. No, she shoots over. Still 11 seconds remaining on the clock. But certainly Canada's going to pack it in. It's going to have to be 2 quick passes. I think Lindsay Rodbach over here on this right-hand corner would be where I'd head. You got an overload of 3-on-2 on the right-hand side. And no, she's going straight up the strong side. 7. We're driving on the cage. He doesn't have time. And the ball's on the ground, and Canada wins their first ever Under-19 World Championship. And they're running down to hug the goalkeeper. Cameron Halsall with a fantastic match. She is certainly deserving a player of the match. And so we are watching their celebration, hugging each other. Now the captain, all the staff is running out, give them a big support. And Shelley, I would definitely say that they played their game, and everyone else was had to play around them, and U.S. wasn't able to deal with that. So your last comments before you head to the closing ceremony?
Yeah, look, Feffy, congratulations to Team Canada. They really maintained their game strategy, what they needed to do, and obviously their coaches had assessed, they'd looked at Team USA and were able to match them, and in fact be really the dominant team. So Team USA were always trying to play catch up, and just a huge congratulations. We perhaps have a changing in the guard here for Canada to take out their first World Championship at under-19 level. Thanks very much, Feffy, it's been great. Thanks to all of the viewers, and I'll pass it back to you now.
And thank you, Shelley, for your great expertise on this game. We're going to first see the goals of the second half, and very shortly thereafter we'll have a player of the match, followed by our closing ceremony, and we will bring all of that to you in our live webcast. Our goals are being shown here from second half. Ball across to Canada. This was a great goal there by number 14, Brenna Shanahan. And this is behind the back to Holly Lloyd. I thought that was the best goal of the tournament, and it was a very critical goal in the run for their championship. Lydia Sutton with a great fake dodge, finishing off. And now the USA. Great move on the inside, and a slide down for USA that got us back to a tie game. That was Miranda Ibello. And then Sutton with a rocket shot to the high corner. She certainly has been the scoring tower. And then the opportunity to USA coming within 1. And now we're back live, watching the celebration of the Canadian girls. Shout out to Scott Teeter for a great coaching job. He really has the girls believing that his system of midfield trap defense was working, and he stuck with his offensive play that he's been running the whole week. Unfortunately, USA was not able to find solve that offensive powerhouse that they have. 3 strong drivers from the top, and a young lady named Selena Lasota, who every time she touches the ball makes something happen. So they're all giving their hugs. They have a 10-minute period here where they can do their celebration. In the meantime, USA is huddled up, all arms around each other, trying to console their players, trying to tell them they gave their best, and they came up 1 short here against Canada in regulation time. Finally, the Canadians again with a lot of high fives. As I say, Scott had a very specific plan for his offense's defense, and he stuck with it right down to the last moment. Now we're setting up for our player of the match, as well as we shall have, immediately following that, we shall have the beginning of our closing ceremony. As you noticed in the opening ceremony, players will march in, so we will have an opportunity to see the teams once again as part of our closing ceremony celebrations. Okay, and you can see our scoreboard across the way, and there's been many volunteers have been working constantly to do all the accuracy of the scorekeeping and statistics. And I thank all of them for their efforts. And we're going to take a break here. We will not see the player of the match. I will announce that following. And we will join you shortly for the closing ceremonies of the 2015 FIL Under-19 Championships, just won by Team Canada. And I'd like to thank you very much for listening to all 53 broadcasts, if you've been that lucky to do that. And I've had the chance to broadcast many of those and spread the word of lacrosse around the world. Again, shout out to Rathbones for sponsorship, and to the University of Edinburgh for sharing their fantastic facility with us. So signing off, Effie Barnhill, goodbye.